Hi, this is Jenny Brav, and today we're looking at soul contracts. And this is a pretty advanced video, so I recommend that you do some of the others, or this is helpful if you already have a spiritual practice. Doing the video of meeting your inner wise guide can be helpful because we're really going to be accessing our inner knowing. Also, the first part of living your purpose, especially if you encounter blocks to living your purpose, that might be an indicator of a soul contract that needs updating. I'm referring to something that usually we come into when I talk about soul contracts, I'm referring to something that usually we come in with, and it's something for us to work through. It can be similar to a limiting belief, especially if you have a belief that feels really intractable that you've been working on, but feels so ingrained. You can't remember a time when you didn't have the belief. No matter how much healing you do, it doesn't seem to shift. Then that might be an indicator of some agreement your soul made either with yourself in response to something that happened potentially in a past life, that this will never happen again, or it might be karmic baggage you have with another soul that your souls are wanting to complete or work through in this lifetime. And if you look at the blog post linked below, I have a whole list of potential indicators that you might have a soul contract you want to update. So without further ado, let's drop in and see what's here. And you might already have a sense of something you're working with based on other work you've done, other videos. And if not, let's see if anything comes up with this meditation when you drop in, and otherwise you might want to do some of the other videos first. So finding a comfortable position, maybe closing your eyes, and taking nice, slow, deep breaths. With each in-breath, inviting in a sense of ease and relaxation. And with each out-breath, inviting anything that's ready to release, any tension, unwanted thoughts, stuck emotions. With each breath, feeling yourself dropping in more deeply into the present moment, into your body. Feeling all the places your breath touches as you inhale. And as you exhale, sensing, feeling, or imagining a dial in your head connecting you to your cognitive brain, and the part of you that tries to figure things out goes into right, wrong, good, bad thinking, analyzes things, And with gratitude for how hard it works for you, turning that dial as far down as feels comfortable. And sensing, feeling, or imagining a dial in your body, connecting you to your heart, intuitive body wisdom, and turning that dial as far up as feels comfortable. And as you do, if it feels appropriate, perhaps calling in your inner wise guide, your wise self, your higher self, any energy that's wanting to support you, if you're already working with it. And if not, it's okay, just connecting to your body, your breath. And as you continue to deepen into yourself, into the moment, feeling your breath creating more space each time you exhale. Inviting in a sense of expansion, slowing down, settling. And asking your inner wisdom to point to a contract, an agreement. It might be with your own soul, it might be with another soul. That you're ready to update or release, or at least explore and get a little more familiar with. And you might hear words, you might get an image of something, you might have a felt sense of something in your body, stuck energy somewhere. You might be taken somewhere, you might get a memory from this lifetime, potentially another lifetime, ancestral. Knowing that these soul contracts can also be inherited from ancestors, might be something that helped them survive, or might be something traumatic that happened in a past life or to an ancestor, and the soul contract is intended to never have it happen again. And you may get a really clear sense of exactly what the contract is, or you might just sense a theme, an energy, a feeling. And whatever it is, it's perfect. You don't actually need to know exactly where it comes from or what it was to be ready to release it. Examples of contracts can be that your life force energy is here to serve that of others. You can't heal until everybody else does. And it can be general, it can be linked to one person's soul. Others can be that it's not safe to pursue your dreams. Can be an either or contract. Either you get this or you get that, but you can't have both. Like freedom or safety, connection or agency, stability or actualization. And again, just letting whatever wants to emerge to do so. And asking your inner knowing, your guide, your wise self from 0 to 10. 10 being completely ready. How ready are you to either update or release this contract? And if it's 8, 9, or 10, great. You can also skip over to the end of the video. If it's under 8, ask your inner knowing if there's a wound, an event, a memory. If you're needing to work a little bit with your past life self or your ancestors, that's needing attention for you to feel ready to release this. And just seeing what comes up. And sending compassion, gratitude for any indicator. And if there is something blocking you from being ready, maybe writing it down, pausing the video, and depending on what it is, there are a number of videos linked below that could be helpful. Working with childhood memories, blocks to living your purpose, from stuckness to flow. And feel free to comment below if there's a block that's not listed that you want support with in the form of a video. And you can return when you're feeling at an 8 or a 9 or a 10 to release the contract. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Let's imagine that we're holding this contract in front of us. You can also write it down and physically hold it, especially if it feels like it needs updating. Then rather than releasing it completely, you might add addendums, cross out sections that no longer are valid. An example of an updated contract, for example, for me, one of my contracts is a bodhisattva contract that my soul doesn't get to heal until everybody else is healed. And I've been updating that contract to be a bodhisattva contract that the way I'll help other heals is for me to heal and lead by example. And so rather than letting go of the whole thing, I've been adding addendums to how I'm helping others heal, but it doesn't mean that I'm needing to suffer for lifetimes until everybody else is healed, that I can actually be working through my own blocks and healing. And it's that state of thriving that will inspire others. And that's often the case for old souls who've had many lifetimes of wanting to serve source or channel loving energy. In past eras, that was often done through penitence, through self-sacrifice. And we're now in an era where that's not the main way of serving that energy. So let's hold the agreement, the contract, and just nod to it, thanking it for the ways it served you. If it's a contract with another soul, thanking the contract and the other soul for whatever you were working with. And for whatever connection you have with that soul. And really feeling into how it no longer serves you, that now it's actually doing the opposite of whatever it was intended to achieve originally. It is not keeping you safe. It's not keeping you connected to that person. It's not helping you live your purpose. And so let's release it to energy, to light, releasing any cords that are still tying you to that agreement, to whatever led to that agreement. And let's bring in a new agreement. Again, it could be an updated one. Especially if this is an agreement with your own soul. If it's an agreement that you released with somebody else's soul, then completing that cycle might be enough. And if it was with another soul, before we get to the new agreement, I invite you to close your eyes for a moment and just visualize a perfect golden ring. And this is the symbol of the completion of a karmic cycle. Recognizing that whatever you were working with or working through with that soul is now complete. And imagining that you're dropping this ring into a rose. And then exploding the rose into light and energy, feeling your energy come back to you, the other person's energy come back to them. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And for everybody else, let's feel into this new agreement that you want to bring in that's updated, that matches your current life. It could be that there is no either or. So the opposite of that is I can have connection and agency. I can have safety and follow my dreams. Or I get to exist unconditionally. Once you've felt into what you're wanting to bring in, again, you can pause the video, do some journaling or meditating or reflecting if you want. And when you're ready, just bringing this new agreement into your crown, feeling it permeate your neural pathways, bringing it into your nervous system, rewiring your nervous system. So this can be the new default setting agreement, and then bringing it into your heart, filling all four chambers of your heart with this new agreement. And when you're ready, letting it radiate back out, sending it up and down your timeline, and tapping all over your body, shaking it out, touching something, grounding, and deep breath. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If it was helpful, you got something out of it, hit the like button, subscribe, and please leave a comment below. Thank you so much.